everyone, my name is Chloe and welcome to day 2 of Vlogmas. So if you have not seen one of these videos, I have done a similar thing the past 2 years for Vlogmas. But what I did is the past 2 years, I've asked my mom to pick 24 books that made her think of me or that she wanted me to read for whatever reason and wrap them up, and I would do one a day for you guys over Vlogmas. So it'd be a little book review, a little unboxing, a little vlog, a little blast from the past. And my mom has done the past 2 years, and the past 2 years I have not loved a lot of the books she picked. So this year I said, let's switch it up and see what my sister does. So my sister has had a booktube channel in the past, and I feel like she knows my taste pretty well. And yesterday started off good, so I have high hopes. And this is today's. So let's go ahead and unwrap it. My sister, I think, is a pretty big women's fiction romance reader. And so I don't know if we're going to have a lot of those or what her strategy was. I don't know. I don't know anything about anything. So I have no idea what to expect here. Let's see. I would say this is an Amy Harmon, What the Wind Knows, just based on that, which is a historical fiction, I believe. Yes, What the Wind Knows by Amy Harmon. Let's see if she put any notes. She did not. My mom left a couple notes inside, of why she picked it, but in love, time is not a barrier. It says, in an unforgettable love story, a woman's impossible journey through the ages could change everything. Anne Gallagher grew up enchanted by her grandfather's stories of Ireland. Heartbroken by his death, she travels to his childhood home to spread his ashes. There, overcome with memories of the man she adored and consumed by a history she never knew, she is pulled into another time. The Ireland of 1921, teetering on the edge of war, is a dangerous place in which to awaken. But there, Anne finds herself hurt, disoriented, and under the care of Dr. Thomas Smith, guardian to a young boy who's oddly familiar. Mistaken for the boy's long-missing mother, Anne adopts her identity, convinced the woman's disappearance is connected to her own. As tensions rise, Thomas joins the struggle for Ireland's independence, and Anne is drawn into the conflict beside him. Caught between history and her heart, she must decide whether she's willing to let go of the life she knew for a love she never thought she'd find. But in the end, is the choice actually hers to make? I have heard great things about Amy Harmon, and I think this book specifically. This also feels new, which if you bought a new book, Alana, I am going to be upset with you because this is supposed to be a cheap project. But I'm really excited for this. This sounds like just enough out of my box that I might love it. So I'll check in and let you know what I think. I forgot to do a life update of when it is and all of that. It is January 15th, Sunday. And not that much is going on in life, except that I had my 8-week follow-up for my broken ankle. I broke my ankle around Thanksgiving, and my doctor said I could even wean off the brace and kind of start acting like a normal human, and you have no idea how great that is. I got the ability to drive right before Christmas, and now, I can walk freely. I can start, trying to exercise, walking or running, but very carefully and gently ease into it. I had a bone that rotated, and so it'll always be just a little bit janky, but it's not enough that it should impact me a lot. So that is great, and it feels so freeing. And my baby, my oldest child, is about to turn 5, and 5 feels like a big milestone for me. It feels like that transition, she is no longer a preschooler, no longer a toddler. She is a kid, and we are she's lost all the baby look. She is a kid. So that's going on. I also have a 2.5, almost 3-year-old, and almost 5-month-old. So it's crazy. That is really what's going on, though. We're just kind of living life. We aren't doing anything that great right now, so I guess there's really nothing to update. Football is almost over, and I'm bummed about that, but basketball is in full swing, so that's great. We really don't have anything else going on. I started a Pango Books recently, but I think I talked about that in the last one, so that's been fun. That's been really fun, and I have Amazon mailers collected because it's just so fun. But yeah, hi, I'm Chloe. I'm addicted to Pango Books, but that's it. So I will check in when I have more thoughts on the book. Hey everyone, so I just got home from an appointment by myself, which is whoa. If you are the mom or dad or caregiver of littles, you know how uncommon it is to go anywhere by yourself. So I'm in the garage, and I'm hoping nobody notices that I'm home while I film this clip. But so I finished a couple things between when I unwrapped this and now. So it's been a couple days, and I historical fiction. I don't know why I always get hung up on it. And sometimes that's not the case. But sometimes it is. And I cannot pinpoint what is hard for me about historical fiction. So this one, I'm liking it, but I'm not loving it. And I'm like a quarter of the way through, maybe. And it's really interesting. It's about this woman who she is talking with her beloved grandfather, and talking about his time in Ireland. And so then she wakes up and she is in the body, or she is his mother, her grandfather's mother, back in the early 1900s in Ireland. And it's really interesting, but something about it, like, I don't know if the pace is slow or what it is, but I'm kind of struggling with it, and it's kind of making me slumpy, and like I feel like it's taking a lot of brain power, and I don't know why. Like, and I'm not against things like making me think about things, but I'm probably not making any sense. But not loving it because of me. Like, I can see, I'm not like saying this is a bad book, or I don't see why people like this. I'm saying, like, why am I not connecting with this? I don't know. I hope I change my tune. I'll let you know. Hey everyone. So it has been a big day in our house. So, as you see, I'm back in the garage, but that's because today, the baby has had her tongue tie revised, which, if you guys have never been through that with a baby, it is like terrible, but it is so worth it in my opinion. And, so she had her tongue tie revised, which was a lot. It was a long morning. But we also got clearance that she has not reaccumulated fluid on her lungs. And long story short, she's got a condition that makes it so breast milk may or may not cause her to have fluid on her lungs, and which has made this like cold and flu season really, really, really stressful, since she's already prone to that. And there's so much RSV and all the things going around. So under her doctor's care, we've been kind of playing with breast milk, and giving it to her. And as of now, she seems to be doing okay. And so that is just huge, because now she can have 50% breast milk and 50% of her specialty formula. And that opens up the world of like breastfeeding, which to me is just one of my favorite parts ever of having an infant. And I just am one of the people who like loves that bond. And, I did with my other two girls, and just, I have missed it a lot, and, have been pumping for 4.5 months, just kind of waiting for the day when we could start doing that. And, so today is that day. So it is a great day. We still have to like ease into it, and she has to learn because she's 4.5 months old and has never really done it. So, it's going to be a learning curve and all of that. But at least today I'm feeling really hopeful, even though it's been a really hard day because, she has not had a fun day. So we're just doing lots of snuggles today. We kind of had like some snow this morning, but it's really just cold. The sun has come out now, and yeah, that's really it. But last night / really early this morning, because right now I pump a couple times in the night, and that's when I get my prime reading done. And so this morning / last night, whatever, I finished What the Wind Knows. And I am just not the audience for this book, you guys. I see why people love it. This is a love story told in light of the Irish Revolution. And, so like I said earlier, Anne is this young woman. She has been raised by her grandpa. She loves her grandpa. And then as he is about to die, he says, like, because he has not wanted to go back to Ireland where he's from the whole time he's living. But then he says, hey, when I die, take my ashes and spread them in Ireland. So she goes back, and something happens that allows her to transport back in time from current day, which is 2001, back to like the early 1920s, I think, maybe, in Ireland. And and her little grandpa now is like 6 years old, and she is in the role of his mother. And so he is being raised by a good family friend, because the mother went missing, presumed dead. I believe the father is dead, maybe, I think. And so he's being raised by a family friend. And so as Anne steps in as his mother and is working together with this man to raise her grandfather, this is really confusing, but they fall in love. And it is a very like, it's very hard times. It's the beginning of the Irish Revolution, and things are not great. And so it's kind of a harrowing love story that involves time travel and a lot of historical context. Sounds great if that's what you're into. Now, historical is hard for me because it moves pretty slow. Like, this story especially, and I'm not saying every historical moves slow, but this one does move slow. It's kind of that stereotypical pace. It's also a little bit descriptive, and then the romance did not have enough to keep me interested. So when it got slow and got kind of like historical based, all my lights are going off. But when it got kind of historical, like deep in the historical context, the romance wasn't really enough to keep me in the story. And then I really liked like exploring Anne's relationship with her grandfather, both as her grandfather and then as her son, and kind of figuring out like that. I really liked that. But that's really the only thing this book had going for it. I did really like the ending, and it's one of those books that upon ending, I'm like, oh, that was sweet. That was a good story. But I wanted more. Like, I just wanted more. I wanted a faster pace, which is not what this book was intended to be, so that's a me problem. I did want more about the time travel element and, like, how and why that all went down. And I don't feel like we necessarily got that, but yeah, I would say probably 3 stars. I can see why people love this. Not necessarily a book for me. I talked to my sister just this morning, and she said she has not read this book, but she's heard a lot of good things. So maybe I will just send it on to her and see her thoughts. So that's everything for today. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you tomorrow.